Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Falakzeeb Khan, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge sharing community. We have one such industry heavyweight on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Utsav Verma. Hello, welcome, Mr. Verma. We are glad to have you here today with us on FaceTime with Leaders.
Right, thanks.
Thank you so much for being here. So let me give you a quick brief about Mr. Utsav Verma. He stands out as a seasoned business leader with an illustrious career spanning nearly 2 decades in investment research and financial analytics, most recently as director at Citigroup, driving large sell-side research team and strategic research initiatives. Being a CFA, Charterholder, and business analytics professional, he is a subject matter expert in equities research, analyzing businesses and recommending investment calls to clients through his nuanced knowledge of industry dynamics, accounting, and valuation metrics. He has been involved in the development of innovative research products, which have set the industry benchmark for actionable and thought-leading equity research. He is now extending his data analytics skills in AI and ML, such as predictive analytics, NLP, etc., to leverage data for differentiated research content. His leadership skills have resulted in building a world-class research and analytics team for multiple global banks, driven largely by his focus on strong stakeholder engagement, talent development, and idea generation throughout the service delivery lifecycle. Beyond work, he is passionate about angel investing, advising students and founders, nurturing innovative business models, along with getting involved in community-driven initiatives with NGOs and keeping up with the demanding schedule of being a marathoner. So, Mr. Verma, our viewers would like to know in brief about your career journey so far.
Right. First of all, thank you, Falak, for such an introduction, and really thanks to Directors Institute, which is providing this platform to have eminent leaders across sectors come and kind of share their experiences. I'm truly glad to be part of this. On my career, I think upon completing my MBA from IIT Kharagpur, I started out as a management trainee at ING Vaishya Bank, first getting exposed to different divisions in the bank, followed by posting at the regional head office, evaluating rate proposals for small and medium enterprises. Having majored in finance, I was always fascinated by the world of equities research, investment banking, so on and so forth. So 2 decades back, such bulge bracket banks were setting up offices in India, and I decided to follow my aspiration by joining EvalueServe, a third-party research and analytics firm. Right. So I would say my roots are very much based there, where I learned about equities research, complex modeling, analyzing businesses and models, and LBOs. Right. So extensive modeling and writing is what I learned during my phase at Equities Research as Equities Research Group Head at EvalueServe. I managed multiple projects, sell side, buy side, right from developing RFPs and pitching their services to execution of the projects. And those kind of 6-7 years were a period of tremendous growth, right? I was able to achieve huge increase in team size. There was a lot of HR exposure. I was nominated to set up practices beyond India to other countries such as Eastern American and Latin American companies. However, I decided to kind of extend my skill set and joined RBS Business Services. That was uh, that was a decade back. It was a 150 member team, and I was actually heading the business development, which required to kind of have a lot of projects, in-house projects. We actually run from the center in Mumbai. Uh, After that, I joined Citigroup Global Markets, and I led a large team of fundamental and quant firms, also index specialists, right? And my primary, uh, I believe, experience would have been to create product impact from a sell side perspective. So stock coverage, kind of coming up with differentiated research through premium products, right? Having the team in Mumbai actually be more client centric by kind of participating in surveys, by working in IPOs, so on and so forth. There is a large part of my role which was into talent development, right? And of course, with any leadership role, there are a lot of strategic initiatives that one has to work for, right? So, be it research delivery, transformation product, or even the center operations management is something that I have been working on for more than a decade, right? I am pursuing my pursuit during these 20 odd years. I thought uh, that one should not really wean away from the learning, right? So I did my CFA, I did an advanced course from IM Bangalore on business analytics, and right now I'm actually very excited to be pursuing independent director course from Directors Institute, because that will actually provide a platform to evaluate businesses and make changes from within for an organization. Right. So, yeah. So, briefly, stepped into the corporate world 2 decades back. Some initial firms provided me solid grounding, they provided me technical skill sets, and then I applied those learnings to grow teams and businesses with continuous learning along the way. So, that is how I will kind of summarize it.
That's been really an interesting and a wonderful career journey so far, I must say. So, you have participated in several landmark professional activities. Which of them do you consider your biggest contribution and why?
Okay. So, yeah, if I think about it, I would say talent development for the industry. Um, mm, See, uh, at EvalueServe, the team growth, which extended the research, right? Mind you, I'm talking about the days when Google was really new on the block. There were no smartphones to do research. From there to an era of AI, ML is kind of it's a big time period. I believe throughout this journey, I am particularly kind of uh, glad that I have been able to kind of provide talent to the industry, right? Developing research teams, right? Making individual reach their potential, right? Not not just uh, not just uh, having research credentials for the industry people, but how to extend those skill sets into analytics and provide differentiated research is something that I would say I am really proud of, right? So, yeah, and now analytics is doing the same, right? Predictive analytics, generative AI, innovation lab, and I am trying my best to kind of have the right talent for the demands that a sell side research actually puts in.
That's really great, I must say. So, you have been in research all through your career, evaluating securities and businesses for investments. Could you provide a little cheat sheet on what to look for in identifying successful businesses?
Well, yeah, in a sense, you are right. So if you zoom in, I am primarily a research person at heart, trying to distinguish between a a well-run business from a poorly run business. Uh, I believe it seems simple, but my idea is I'm more of a fundamental person where I go in depth in analyzing the companies, right? So understanding the business, understanding the business model, making sure just to ensure how the company is actually making money, right? Financial performance, right? What's the trend like? What's the operating efficiency, balance sheet strength, cash flow generation, capital structure? So those are some of these financial metrics that really I really I closely look into. Valuation, that's something that I consider quite a bit when I am kind of doing my research on companies, industry growth and drivers, competition, right, and most importantly, understanding of risk factors, right, regulatory, legal, environment. So often we have seen that companies with strong financial performances actually kind of not able to meet the risk management framework, right? And eventually kind of falling out or falling behind. Management and leadership is something I put a great deal of importance in, right? So I would greatly look into the profiles of the management, dig deep into their history, and try to find out how credible the management is, right? And besides all this, right, at the end of the day, it's very commonsensical, right? So looking into say accounting practices, looking into revenue concentration, kind of mixing technical with fundamental analysis, right? Looking into the liquidity in the market in case you are planning to actually short a stock, right? So those kind of commonsensical thing is also looked at uh, before you kind of before I end up taking a call whether a business is investable or not, right? And these are primarily kind of also helpful in my personal pursuit when I kind of get into angel investing and evaluated pre-revenue or pre-profit companies, right? So yeah, so that's a little cheat sheet, but as they say, it's a mix of science and art when you're doing research. So I try to kind of balance it.
True. That's really interesting, I must say. So you have been
Yeah.
honored with the Outstanding Industry Mentor accolade by the CFA Society India in 2023. How did you come about achieving it?
Yes, you're right. I must say you have kind of digged deep into my profile. So yeah, association with CFA is a wonderful association. CFA does a wonderful work in bringing people across talent, bringing talent across industries, be it sell side, buy side, banking, right? Along with talent across the financial ecosystem, right? So financial advisors, traders. So CFA is a great platform to actually mm, kind of be in the mix of the industry. So I have been involved in many initiatives like teach-ins, networking events, talent development, right? And one such initiative of theirs was actually to mentor a team, right? So I I mentored a team on kind of evaluating a business and taking investment calls from my alma mater, which is IIT Kharagpur, right? So there were individuals who worked towards preparing an investment case on a particular company, and they had to kind of go through several rounds of questioning and actually present it to the CFA panel, right? So it was a nice experience guiding people, which I always love, right? And uh, yeah, I think it's my involvement all through the year which would have kind of resulted in such an accolade. Thank
That's
you. Yeah.
a great achievement, I must say, and congratulations to you for the same. So
Thank
when
you.
we talk, yeah. So when we talk about ESG, you have been involved in some ESG research activities. Could you share some insights into them?
Uh, from a research perspective, I have been involved in a few initiatives, right? One is integrating ESG perspective into research, more via making researchers learn about ESG metrics and question sustainable growth. For example, metals and mining companies are always drawing a flag from a ESG perspective, but the learners should appreciate that these metals are actually helping uh, in EV industry in making transportation actually feasible and efficient, right? So we need to question whether ESG, whether an industry needs to be uh, needs to be considered in a negative manner or should be on the negative screen because it is involved in metals and mining, right? Then coming back, I also have supported projects which help in assimilating ESG metrics across sectors and time periods and feed into the financial databases. And lastly, index research, right? Citi launched indexes which are not only based on negative screening, but also look at ESG attributes, which can lead to outperformance. So, yeah, leading such teams have exposed me uh, mm, to ESG research in its own way, right?
Yeah.
As I say. And lastly, index research. Citi launched indexes which are not only based on negative screening, but also look at ESG attributes which can lead to outperformance. And since I've managed index team. Uh, this has also been a learning experience from a ESG perspective. From a management perspective, uh, there is a lot of focus on diversity and inclusion, right? So how to get the diversity ratio up, how to kind of uh, um, get the teams which is far more inclusive. That has been uh, a priority, right? Not just for particular team research, but across City, right? Then I have been also involved in ethics and culture training because you must understand that research is a regulated business, right? And we need to reinforce number of aspects so that we are always on the right side of the regulator.
Right.
And lastly is the remuneration initiatives, right? There is lot of initiatives about gender pay parity across gender, right? Of course, Citi is at the forefront, and I have actually been involved in some of these initiatives. So all these DI focus, ethics, culture, remuneration, also in a bit are part of uh, ESG broader metrics, right? So in that way, uh, we all in a sense, are getting exposed to ESG in some way or another, and I am no different.
That's really great. So we want to know, like, how do you maintain your professional development and stay current with corporate governance best practices?
Well, I would say this is an era of continuous learning, right? And that is something that I try to maintain, right? You would have seen from my profile, I'm a CFA charter holder, which I kind of pursued for 4 long years,
Right.
right? After that, when uh, when I when I got a sense that research is something that is evolving, right, with the advent of analytics, I did a course from IIM Bangalore on business analytics, right? And now I'm also focusing on ESG research and being an independent director and looking into businesses from a different lens. Now, what uh, how I maintain is I conduct teachings with subject matter experts on varied topics. These can be, say, topics such as managing clients or writing a sell note or getting votes on surveys. I myself get into teachings, right, on leadership, culture, analytics, and accounting and valuation, right? There are lots of Zoom teachings that happen, right, from academic institutes and societies, which I'm a member of. For example, uh, mm, in the last few weeks, I would have attended a 3 or 4 sessions, such as how to evaluate a startup or making best use of social media or kind of trends in digital marketing, right? So yeah, so that's one aspect that I really kind of get involved in, especially after COVID when Zoom teachings actually became fairly run of the mill. I do conduct or attend master classes and mentorship courses, which which is always helpful. Reading articles, reading annual reports of companies, or kind of investing in learning just by kind of having that mindset is something that I make sure that I look into. Also, networking helps a bit, right? Or helps quite a bit, I would say, right? So I don't miss an opportunity, or I try not to miss an opportunity to attend networking events, because we always uh, learn about new trends, we learn about the markets and the businesses, which is always helpful and provide a different perspective, right? So I would say there are host of platforms uh, or that help you in learning, um, right? But most important is actually the mindset in this time and age, and also um, one should be ready to invest in learning. Sometimes we would throw away a subscription, or we would kind of think about a particular buying a particular book. I would say that allot a budget, have some budget on your learning, right? And that's a sure
Yes.
short way to actually develop yourself professionally in this time of technological advancement and immense competition.
Definitely. So we want to know, like, what are some challenging issues or governance crisis that you have faced in your leadership role, and how have you gone about handling it?
Okay, yeah. So I'm leading a large organization, right? And that too in a global setup with matrix reporting, right? And it comes with its own set of challenges. Some of the situations that I can recall, that includes uh, I would say managing during COVID-19 pandemic. That was uh, uh, that was one difficult situation, right? We operate in a client-facing live market franchise, right, where time to market is extremely important, right? To manage timely publication of research along with difficult pandemic situation, especially during early days, was a big challenge, right? So managing expectations and timely communication along with nimble transition to available technologies was a big savior. Secondly, I would say uh, mm, from a challenge perspective is research is a regulated business, which means we follow policies to the hilt. Now, strong risk and control measures, along with developing a culture of self-reporting and transparency, help in managing such challenges. Again, easier said than done. Third challenge, I would say there is always, and this is not just for the organizations I've worked, but all across the industry, is the silo working, right? How to kind of break those silos and have people cooperate, communicate, and work together is a challenge that we as leaders always face one time or another. Right. So I would say standard leadership challenges, but I believe communication and staff training plays a big role. Right. It's very easy to say that these need to be maintained, but there is a lot of effort that goes into effective communication and training the staff so that one doesn't get into such challenging situation every now and then.
Yes, that's there. So when we talk about technology, we want to know like what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology, and what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, and Web 3.0?
Well, I've on this I can kind of go on for ages, right? So, sell side research, traditionally provided by investment banks, brokerage firms, and other financial institutions, has undergone significant changes due to technological advancement. We all know that, right? And these are both positive and negatives, right? So, if I look at the positive implications for the industry, there is lot of efficiency in data collection and analysis, right? Technology has enhanced the efficiency of data collection, analysis, and reporting. Automated data scraping, machine learning, and data analytics tools allow analysts to process vast amount of data or information quickly and accurately. So that's one big positive impact. Second, I will say access to big data, right? Analysts now have access to large amount of information, right? Including real-time market data, social media, sentiment analysis, and alternative data sources. So this data can provide deeper insights into companies and industries. So that's the second big positive implication. Third, I would say quantitative analysis, right? Because there is rise of quantitative research and algorithmic trading that has led to more data-driven approach in sell-side research. Algorithms can kind of analyze large data sets and identify patterns that humans might take ages, right? Or they may miss even if they don't take time, even if they take longer, right? Fourth is personalization, right? So technology is allowing more personalized research services. Clients can receive tailored research reports and alerts based on their specific investment preferences and risk tolerance. Um, Fifth, I would say distribution and access. Digital platforms and online portals enable easier distribution of research reports. So, so that has actually been a big change on how we distribute research to our clients. Uh, then then look at tools like Zoom and Teams, right? Collaboration and communication is one such positive impact of technology, right? There are lots of collaboration tools. Video conferencing is facilitating better communication among analysts, sales teams, and clients, even when they are geographically um, mm, interspersed, right? So I would say on the positive side, data collection efficiency, big data access, quantitative analysis, personalization, distribution and access, and collaboration are some of the positive implications from for the industry. But on the negative side, right, there are some things that we need to worry about or kind of pivot for the growth of the industry, right? One is there is just too much information, right? There is overabundance of information. Uh, the ease of data collection and access has created information overload, um, and these and the analysts need to shift through enormous amount of data to find relevant insights, and this can be time consuming. Second, I would say, and maybe it may not be kind of taken taken rightly in the industry, is there is a threat to there is threat to traditional analyst roles, right? So automation and algorithms have led to kind of concerns about the displacements of human analysts. While they are still essential for quantitative analysis, there is increasing demand for analysts with data science and quantitative skills. So unless someone upgrades himself or herself with new evolving technologies, he or she is going to be left behind, right? So there is that threat that is looming, um, that is very much pervading the industry. Then regulatory challenges. I have right through this interview, I have been kind of saying ours is a regulated industry, but what has technological advancement done is that it has necessitated new regulations to ensure research quality, to avoid conflict of interest, to protect client data, right? So compliance with these regulation is going to be very complex and costly in this time and age, right? So that's a challenge that our business faces. Then there is, I would say, uh, what else? Yeah, I would say a fragmentation of research providers, right? So technology has enabled independent research providers and fintech companies to enter this space, and there is increasing competition and which is potentially diluting the value of sell side research firm from established institutions. There is there is there is transparency and conflict of interest angle as well, right? So in Europe, for example, the MiFID II regulations require increased transparency in pricing and research cost. So this has impacted the business model of some sell side firms and pressure on pricing. And lastly, I would say uh, uh, that cybersecurity is a big risk, right? There is digitization of research materials and client communication, which presents cybersecurity challenges. So we need to all invest in robust security measures to protect sensitive information. Right. So these are, as I look into evolving technology, these are some positive and negative implication. In summary, technology has had a profound impact on sell-side research, and it has helped in improving efficiency, access to data, and customization, while posing challenges to information overload. Um, yeah, Mm, and then, of course, I discussed about regulatory compliance and competition. Of course, risk aspects such as cybersecurity risk. So the industry continues to evolve as it adapts to these technological changes and their implications. I I believe I've gone at length, but
Yes.
I'm happy to kind of talk more about it
Right,
because
I
this is something
understand.
very dear to me.
Yes. So, as you know, we are building a community of industry magnets. The move is meant for cross pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So, what are your thoughts about this initiative taken about by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Hemal Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
I would say really tremendous effort in creating this community. Right, the industry is facing headwinds due to new and emerging business models, demographic changes, geopolitical developments, new technologies, talent crunch, increased regulatory control, shareholder activism, and also focus on sustainable growth. So webinars that are conducted to share views and learn from experiences of people across industry value chain has been really rewarding, right? So big thumbs up to the entire team, and thanks to Jishan and Havel to be playing a pioneering role. Relevant corporate governance topics such as board structure, uh, such as its composition, such as shareholder rights, transparency and disclosure, risk management and compliance. I have found it very helpful to know more on these board topics, and and these topics are not only helpful to the existing board of directors, but are also helpful for the aspiring directors such as me, who can learn from this community and add much greater value right from day one of their directorship. So I would say thanks to the entire organization, especially Jishan and Havel. So I would like to say thanks to the entire Directors Institute, and especially Jishan and Havel to be actually providing this platform for aspiring directors to be learning and kind of then positively contributing to such a cause.
These have been really very kind words by you, I must say. So it was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you, Mr. Utsav Verma, for joining us today. We wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably has expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. And all the wonderful different teachings and principles that you've shared with us, your wonderful, interesting career journey so far. I'm sure, like everyone watching this, it is going to help them, inspire them, and grow in their careers as well. So thank you so much for being with us today on FaceTime with Leaders.
Thanks, Alak. It has been truly rewarding session, and I have myself learnt a bit. And thanks to the entire community and Jishan and Hevel for kind of making this possible. Thanks again.
Thank you.